What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and this is how you can unlock the classic Enigma blueprint in Black Ops 6 in Warzone. Definitely stay tuned. Now, considering we already have the AMAX, which released back in Season 3, it was only fitting to bring back the classic Enigma blueprint, which was a reward for doing the Keycard Easter egg in Warzone 1, and as we all hoped, with the opening of the stadium, they brought back the exact same quest 1-to-1. Now, that's up for debate if whether or not that was a good thing. Maybe they could have modified a couple of steps of this Easter egg, considering the RNG involved, as we'll get into. But as a reminder, for the next couple of days and until August the 14th, the stadium interior is locked behind 3 completions of the brand new satellite hijack contract. During week 2 of Warzone Season 5, not only are we going to see a stadium resurgence map, in which this Easter egg is probably going to be doable inside of that mode, but the interior will be open to everybody permanently within Battle Royale, BR Casual, and even Plunder. Now, as of now, during the early access period for the stadium interior, you can only do this Easter egg in BR Casual or regular Battle Royale. Now, if you guys are curious how to do the brand new satellite hijack contract, exactly how it works, and how to unlock a free weapon case which comes with a limited time blueprint, that separate video is going to be linked down below. But once you're in the stadium, your goal is to find at least 2 different key cards, but there are 3 total, which could make this even easier. There's a key card called P216, which opens up a very specific door here in the parking lot. There's then a key card called CL19, which opens up a door in the middle of the stadium just by a bar. And lastly, there's a key card called EL21, which opens up a door all the way upstairs. Now, if you're doing this with a squad, the goal will be to split up and just cover as much ground as possible within the stadium, because you have a couple of variables against you here for this quest. Obviously, having to do the satellite hijack contract will take a little bit of time, and you have a storm to worry about. But eventually, once the stadium is permanently open, this will probably be a little bit easier to do over in Plunder without having to worry about a storm. But it's unfortunate that the keycards no longer glow blue, nor do they float as they did in Warzone 1, which helped us spot them a little bit easier. So although it's helpful to find all 3 key cards to open up each of the secret rooms, you have very limited time to do this, especially now, so if you can at least find 2 key cards, then this will be doable. So in each of the secret rooms that you can open with key cards, a sequence will play containing numbers and symbols. The goal is to decipher what the symbols actually mean or what numbers they represent, which can only really be done when you take a look at least 2 computers inside of the stadium. So in other words, you're going to be solving for an unknown variable. Here's what I label these variables as. We have what I call H, which looks like a house. We have what I call T, which looks like the letter T. And we have what looks like a nose, which I call the letter N. So on this first computer, it shows me H, 3, N, T, 1, H, 9, and N. Going up to a second computer, it shows me H, N, N, 4, 1, H, 9, and N again. So we figured out from the first computer that N equals 3, and we figured out from the second computer that T equals 4, so just fill in the blanks here. We just don't know what the H symbol stands for, so we're gonna guess that one. But as of now, before guessing, we know our code should be blank, 3, 3, 4, 1, blank, 9, and even 3. So you want to head up to this specific door towards the upstairs of the stadium where you can input a code. What we need to do is guess what H stands for, since we didn't get to look at a third computer, which would have revealed it. In this case, you can see a bunch of numbers being forced, and they were all incorrect, but eventually the number 0 ended up being what H was, as we guessed, so our final code was 033411093. We just put 0 wherever the H's were in our sequence, and that's our code. Now, once you're inside, you'll find plenty of good loot, including a blueprint for the AMAX called Enigma, which is exactly what it looked like back in the original Warzone. But of course, the RNG involved with those keycards is an absolute pain, which is why I recommend doing this with some teammates, especially when dealing with a storm and limited time during week 1 of Warzone Season 5. But I do believe this will be doable, a lot more at least, on solo once we hit week 2 of Season 5. But regardless, I'm really happy to see blueprint Easter eggs are back within Warzone, since Easter eggs have been pretty lackluster the past couple of months, and have only rewarded us with things like maybe a mini in-game event that doesn't really do anything, a calling card, or possibly just XP. But with that being said, folks, plenty of other videos are on the way, and I will see you in the next one.